Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Selim. I hope you are fine and healthy. In this video, I'm going to solve the rest of the calculator part in SAT Maths exam. Let's get started. Question 20. Michael swam 2,000 yards on each of 18 days. The scatter plot above shows his swim time for and corresponding heart rate after each swim. The line of best fit for the data is also shown. For the swim that took 34 minutes, which is right here, Michael's actual heart rate was about how many beats per minute less than the rate predicted by the line of best fit. Let's analyze it. The actual heart rate is right here. What is the value in here? Let's find it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bar, and let's find 1 bar corresponds to what beats per minute. There is 10 beats per minute, so 1 bar corresponds to 2 beats per minute. So this line is 148. So the question asks the difference between predicted one and the actual one. So the answer is 1 bar, which was 2 beats per minute. So the answer is B. Next question. Of the following 4 types of saving account plans, which option would yield exponential growth of the money in the account? A states each successive year 2% of the initial saving is added to the value of the account. Let's model it. There is some initial savings and 2% of it added to the value of the account each year. So let's call it a number of years past. So this function is a linear function. So this is not an exponential growth. Let's model B. Each successive year, 1.5% of the initial savings and $100 is added to the value of the account. So similar to the first one, this is a linear function, not an exponential function. Let's model C. Each successive year, 1% of the current value is added to the value of the account. So the value is updating contrary to A and B because they were stating initial savings, but this is 1% of the current value. So current value plus 1% of the current value multiplied by each year. This is 101 over 100 v. So this is an exponential function because n is appearing, at the top. So the answer is C. The sum of three numbers is 855. One of the numbers, x, is 50% more than the sum of the other two numbers. What is the value of x? So in this question, the sum of the other two numbers are, we do not need individuals of other two numbers, so I will model the sum of them as y. So x plus y is 855. And the other information is x is 50% more. So y plus y and a half equals x, which is equal to 3y over 2. What is the value of x? So let's leave the y alone, 2x over 3, and substitute in here. So x plus 2x over 3 is 5x divided by 3. Let's solve it by the calculator. 3 times 855 divided by 5 is 513. Next question. The angles shown above are acute and sine A equals cosine B. If A equals 4k minus 22 and B equals 6k minus 13, what is the value of k? When we see this property, we should realize that this can be happen only in right angle triangle. Why? Let's analyze it. For example, this is A, this is B, this is X, Y, and Z. Sine A is Y divided by Z. Cosine B is Y divided by Z. So in right triangles, sine A equals cosine B. Okay, this is our case. So we know that A plus B is 90 degrees. So let's use it to solve our questions. Let's add them side by side. A plus B is equal to 10k minus 35. So substitute 90 instead of A plus B. So 10k is 125. So the answer is 12.5. Question 24. Mr. Cole has a beaker containing n millimeters of solution to distribute to the students in his chemistry class. If he gives each student 3 millimeters of solution, he will have 5 millimeters left over. Let's model this case. Let's assume that the number of students in the class is X. So when he gives 3 millimeters to each student, he gives 3x millimeters of solution, right? And additionally, he has 5 more millimeters left. So if we add 5, now we found the total volume of the solution, which is given in the question as n. So the other information is, in order to give each student 4 millimeters of solution, he will need an additional 21 millimeters. So hypothetically, he would give every student 4 millimeters. He will need an additional 21 millimeters. So 21 millimeters is not in the bowl. So I subtract 21 from 4x. Let's solve this equation. 26 is equal to x. X was the number of students in the class. So this is the asked thing in the question. Next question. A grain silo is built from 2 right circular cones and a right circular cylinder with internal measurements represented by the figure above. Of the following, which is closest to the volume of the grain silo in cubic feet? So we know the volume of the cones. It is 1/3 times pi times radius of the circle times the height. So we have 2 equal cones. So in our case, let's find the total volume of the cones. 2 times, since there is 2, 1/3 times pi times r is 5 feet, so r squared is 25, and height is 5 feet. Okay, we found the volumes of the cones, so let's find the cylinder's volume. It is pi r squared times height. In our case, it is pi times r is again 5, r squared is 25, and height is 10 feet, so the volume of the cylinder is 250 pi. Let's add the volume of the cones and the cylindrical shape by using a calculator. Pi times 250 plus 2 times 1/3 times pi times 125. It is approximately 1047. So the answer is D. Question 26. In the xy plane, the line determined by the points 2k and k32 passes through the origin. Which of the following could be the value of k? So let's write a standard equation for a line y equals mx plus n, right? But the question tells us it passes through the origin. So when I substitute 0 and 0, it should be satisfied. So let's substitute it. 0 equals 0 plus n. In this case, n should be 0. So our equation reduced to y equals mx. Let's solve it. Also, this line should satisfy these points, so let's write it. K equals 2m and 32 is equal to k times m. I need the value of k, so let's find m in terms of k over 2, and substitute m into this equation. It is 32 is equal to k times k over 2, so k squared is 64. So k is either 8 or minus 8. Let's check the choices. There is only positive 8, so the answer is C. Next question. A rectangle was altered by increasing its length by 10% and decreasing its width by p%. Let me assume the length is at the beginning is 10L and the width is 10W, okay? If this alteration decreased the area of the rectangle by 12%, what is the value of P? So at the beginning, the area is 100 L times W, right? But the question tells us at the end, area of the rectangle has decreased by 12%. So the final area is 88 LW. So also I know that its length has increased by 10%. So the new value of length is 11L. So let's find the altered version of width. I multiply something with 11L and I found 88 LW. It is obvious that width should be 8W to satisfy this equation. So at the beginning, the width was 10W. At the end, it is 8W. So the decrease is 20%, we can find it by using this thing. Times 100 is equal to 20%. Next question. In planning maintenance for a city's infrastructure, a civil engineer estimates that starting from the present, the population of the city will decrease by 10% every 20 years. This is important, decrease by 10% every 20 years. If the present population of the city is 50,000, which of the following expressions represents the engineer's estimate of the population of the city t years from now? So we realize that t is in years, but the estimation of the engineer is for 20 years. We should modify it, but in the beginning, I should write 50,000. So now I know that population will drop 10%. So I can write the dropped version as 9.10. I mean 9 over 10. So in t years, what will be the change? This 10% is expected for 20 years, right? So t is in years, so to use it, for example, when I substitute 20 into t, I should find 9 over 10 here. So to find 9 over 10 when I substitute 20 into t, I should divide t by 20, right? So our final equation should be this, and so the correct answer is C. Question 29. The incomplete table above summarizes the number of left-handed students and right-handed students by gender for the 8th grade students at Kaysal Middle School. There are 5 times as many right-handed female students as there are left-handed female students. They are both female, one is right-handed, one is left-handed, and 5 times. So let's substitute it right away, so we won't forget. If there is X female left-handed students, there should be 5X right-handed female students. Let's continue. And there are 9 times as many right-handed male students as there are left-handed male students. So if this is K, right-handed male students should be 9K. Okay, if there is a total of 18 left-handed students and 122 right-handed students in the class, in the school, which of the following is closest to the probability that a right-handed student selected at random is female? Okay, let's solve the equations because this x plus k should be equal to 18 and this should be equal to 122. X plus k is 18. Five x plus 9k is 122. Let's multiply the first equation by 5, so we obtain 5x plus 5k is equal to 90. Let's subtract them. 4k is 32 and k is 8. So the question is asking what is the probability of right-handed students selected, the total right-handed students selected at random is female. So right-handed female number was 5x, and the question is choosing from the right-handed students. So total number of right-handed students was 122. So let's find x by substituting k here. X is 10. So our probability is 50 divided by 122. Let's calculate it by using a calculator. The answer is 0.409. The closest choice is A. Question 30. In the equations above, B and C are constant. If B is C minus, let's write it. If B is C minus 1 over 2, which of the following is true? Let's play with these equations at the beginning to make it tidy. B equals 2x minus 7. C is 2y minus 7. So I know that from the question B minus C is minus 1 over 2. By using this, I can find B minus C, right? I subtract the second equation from the first. B minus C is 2x minus 2y. So 2x minus 2y is minus 1 over 2. Let's divide both sides by 2, so x minus y is minus 1 over 4. So let's check the choices. X is y minus 1 over 4. Let's check it. X equals y minus 1 over 4. X is y minus 1 over 4. Yeah, A is the correct answer in this case because we found this equation. Okay, classical parts. Tickets for a school talent show cost $2 for students and $3 for adults. If Chris spends at least $11 but no more than $14 on X student tickets and one adult ticket, what is one possible value of X? So let's find the total cost first. X many student tickets is 2x dollars plus one adult ticket is $3. So the question tells me that at least $11 has spent. So 2x plus 3 can be equals to $11. So I can write 2x plus 3 is greater than or equal to $11. And also question tells me that it is less than $14. It cannot be equal to this value. So what is one possible value of x? Let's find the all values. X can be 4 because in this case, this would be 11 and this is an allowed value. Let's check 5. If we use 5, we can obtain 13 and it is also satisfies this inequality. So you can either write 4 or 5 as an answer. They are both correct. Question 32. Ages of the first 12 United States presidents at the beginning of their terms in office as shown in the table. And the question asks, what was the mean age in years of these presidents beginning of their term? Oh, that's a long summation question. You should add all of these ages and you should divide by 12 because there is 12 presidents in total. So I made it in calculator. It is the sum is 703 and the number of presidents was 12. So the answer is 703 divided by 12. is 58.58. But the question asks me to round your answer to the nearest tenth. So I should write to answer sheet this as 58.6 because the nearest tenth is 6. Okay, next question. If the expression above is rewritten in the form ax plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants, what is the value of b? So b is the coefficient of the first power of x. So as you know, when we are adding polynomials, the same powers should add it together. So since I need the first power, I can only add the first powers of x. So which is 5x, there is a minus sign here, be careful, minus 2 times minus 2x. So 9x is the first power term in this polynomial, and so the coefficient is 9 in this case, and the answer is 9 too. B equals 9. Next question. In a circle with center O, central angle AOB has a measure of 5 pi over 4 radians. The area of the sector formed by central angle AOB is what fraction of the area of the circle? Let's draw it. O is the center and AOB has a measure of, let's draw the AOB, and this is the angle the question is telling me. Why I draw like this? Because it should a little bit greater than 180 degrees, because I know that pi radians is equal to 108 degrees. So a full circle, for example, a full circle is represented by 2 pi radians in this case, because it is 360 degrees. So area is proportional to the angle, right? The question is asking this area divided by the whole area of the circle. So since they are proportional, I can directly find 5 pi over 4 divided by 2 pi. Pi's will be cancelled, and the answer is 5 over 8, or you can write 0.625. Question 35. An online store receives customer satisfaction ratings between 0 and 100, inclusive. In the first 10 ratings the store received, the average arithmetic mean of the rating was 75. So at the beginning, the total rating obtained is 750. What is the least value the store can receive for 11th rating and still be able to have an average of at least 85 for the first 20 ratings? We should realize that to find the least rating, the other votes should be the highest value, because I want to find at least, I want to obtain at least 85 mean. So to have a low rating, the other ratings should be the maximum. So The other 9 ratings, because 11th rating should be low, 9 ratings should be 100. So total points is 900. And I want the final mean should be 85. So the final total points is 1,700. So to find the minimum rating that can possibly happen, I should subtract the addition of these two from the total points. So let's add them together. 1,650. So the least value is 50 in this case. Question 36. In the xy plane, if a point with coordinates a and b lies in the solution set of the system of inequalities above, what is the maximum possible value of b? Okay, I need to get rid of x. Yes, because I want to find b, and which is the y value. So I do not need a. So let's get rid of it by multiplying both sides of the inequality by 3. Since 3 is a positive number, the inequality does not change direction. But you should know that if I multiply this by a negative value, it would be this in this case, but I did not multiply by negative value, so write it. 3y is less than or equal to 15x. The other one was y is less than or equal to minus 15x plus 3000. Let's add them together. 4y is less than or equal to 3000. So y is less than or equal to 750. So what is the maximum possible value of b? Maximum value is 750 in this case, which is the answer. Next question. If shoppers enter a store at an average rate of R shoppers per minute and each stays in the store for an average time of t minutes, the average number of shoppers in the store n at any one time is given by the formula n equals RT. This relationship is known as Lidls Law. The owner of the Good Deal store estimates that during business hours, an average of 3 shoppers per minute enter the store and that each of them stays an average of 15 minutes. The store owner uses Lidls Law to estimate that there are 45 shoppers in the store at any time. Okay, that's a long question. Lidls Law can be applied to any part of the store, such as particular department or the checkout lines. The store owner determines that during business hours, approximately 84 shoppers per hour. Realize that in the question, it gives the formula in terms of minutes, so we should convert this hour to minutes as dividing this number by 60. Let's continue. Make a purchase and each of these shoppers spend an average of 5 minutes in the checkout line. At any time during business hours, about how many shoppers on average are waiting in the checkout line to make a purchase at a Good Deal store? Okay, we are going to use the formula given in the question, directly because we converted the spent time t to minutes. So R is 5 minutes. Let's multiply them. And is calculated as 7. Next one. The owner of the Good Deal store opens a new store across town. For the new store, the owner estimates that during business hours an average of 90 shoppers per hour. We should make the same transformation in here. Enter the store and each of them stays an average of 12 minutes. The average number of shoppers in the new store at any time is what % less than the average number of shoppers in the original store at any time? Okay, let's convert this to minutes version. It is 1.5. Let's apply the formula given in the question. N equals 1.5 times 12 minutes. It is 18. In the question, it is given that 45 shoppers in the store at any time. So the question asks me to compare these numbers and find the percentage. So obviously the main store has more shoppers, and question is expecting me to find what % less. Okay, let's find it. 45 minus 18 times divided by 45. This is equal to 27 divided by 45, 3, 5, and this is 60 divided by 100, 60% is the answer. The new store has 60% less shoppers in the store at any time. So you should write 60 into the answer sheet. Okay, this is end of the test. I hope you enjoyed a lot. By the way, you can send me your math-related questions via the email in the description. I am planning to record a video by solving your questions in another video. So this is end of my video. Thanks a lot for watching. I would be glad if you subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Have a good one.